History tells us that the 1800s were a slow and simple time, a world shaped by horse carriages, handwritten letters, and limited technology. We imagine people living without electricity, without modern medicine, and without the global systems that define our lives today. But when we begin to look closely at the physical evidence that still surrounds us, a strange contradiction appears. The buildings, the infrastructure, and the scale of many cities do not fully match this image of a primitive era. Across Europe, the Americas, and parts of Asia, massive structures continue to dominate historical centers. These are not small or experimental constructions. They are monumental, precise, and highly detailed. Giant domes, symmetrical facades, and complex engineering suggest a level of organization and knowledge that feels surprisingly modern. Even today, recreating such architecture requires advanced technology, specialized workers, and enormous financial resources. Official history attributes these achievements to the Industrial Revolution. Growing economies, stronger governments, and improved tools supposedly allowed rapid urban development. However, certain construction timelines still raise questions. Entire complexes, filled with intricate detail, were reportedly completed in just a few years. When compared with modern projects of similar scale, this speed seems almost impossible. Old photographs deepen the mystery. Many show fully developed cities, yet construction phases are rarely documented. Streets appear empty, and buildings look new, as if they had been completed long before the photographs were taken. The absence of detailed records fuels speculation and encourages alternative interpretations. Urban planning also appears suddenly and globally. Wide boulevards, underground systems, geometric layouts, and advanced drainage networks emerge across continents in a relatively short period. This level of coordination suggests the transfer of knowledge on a global scale, something that challenges the idea of slow communication in the 19th century. One of the most fascinating aspects of this period is the sudden rise of international exhibitions known as the World's Fairs. These events were not small cultural gatherings or local celebrations. They were enormous, temporary cities built in astonishingly short periods of time. Millions of people traveled across continents to witness them. Visitors described breathtaking palaces made of glass and iron, massive domes, monumental statues, and advanced technological demonstrations that seemed far ahead of their time. Official records claim that many of these structures were temporary, constructed with inexpensive materials, and later demolished. Yet, the surviving photographs and eyewitness descriptions suggest something far more complex. The harmony, scale, and precision of these buildings appear closer to permanent architecture than temporary exhibition halls. Some independent researchers have proposed that these exhibitions were not simply displays of progress, but moments of transition. According to these interpretations, the fairs may have introduced populations to new technological systems, social structures, and centralized infrastructures. Instead of representing a sudden technological leap, they may have shaped public perception, presenting innovation as something new while quietly replacing older systems. While there is no definitive proof, this idea continues to circulate because of the extraordinary level of coordination and global participation involved in these events. Lighting systems seen in historical photographs have also sparked debate. Streets and interiors appear illuminated with a brightness that seems unusual for a time when electrical grids were still developing. Some observers suggest that alternative methods of energy distribution may have been explored or tested. Critics respond that early electrical systems were more advanced than commonly believed, and that gas and early electricity combined could explain the visual evidence. Regardless of the explanation, the contrast between the historical narrative and the imagery keeps the discussion alive. Architectural similarities across continents provide another intriguing mystery. From Paris to New York, from St. Petersburg to Buenos Aires, and even in cities like Istanbul, classical design elements repeat with striking consistency. Domes, arches, columns, and symmetrical layouts appear across cultures and political systems. This pattern suggests either a shared global design philosophy or a rapid transfer of knowledge between distant regions. Trade, education, and empire may explain this, but the scale of similarity still surprises many observers. Critics of alternative theories emphasize that there is no need for hidden technologies or lost civilizations. They argue that human creativity, ambition, and organization are sufficient explanations. Architects studied in the same schools, read the same books, and traveled between continents. Skilled labor, combined with industrial resources, allowed for rapid construction. In this view, the mystery lies not in the past, but in our modern tendency to underestimate earlier generations. Yet certain physical mysteries remain difficult to ignore. In many cities, old buildings appear partially buried. Windows and doors are located below current street level. Entire floors seem hidden underground. Official explanations include rising street levels, urban redevelopment, and natural processes. However, the widespread nature of this phenomenon continues to attract attention and curiosity, especially when multiple cities show similar patterns. Historical records also describe rapid and dramatic changes during the 19th century. Fires destroyed entire cities, wars reshaped borders, epidemics transformed societies, massive migrations altered populations. During such unstable periods, knowledge can be lost or fragmented. Techniques, systems, and traditions may disappear, leaving only physical structures as silent witnesses of forgotten methods. This has led some thinkers to explore the idea of cyclical history. Civilizations may rise, achieve high levels of technology, and then collapse due to environmental, social, or economic crises. Future generations inherit fragments of this knowledge without fully understanding their origin. In this context, the 1800s might represent a recovery phase rather than the true beginning of modern civilization. Psychologists and historians caution against jumping to conclusions. Human beings are naturally drawn to mystery and hidden narratives. When information is incomplete, imagination fills the gaps. Patterns appear, and simple explanations seem unsatisfying. This cognitive tendency has shaped myths, legends, and conspiracy theories throughout history. However, curiosity remains the foundation of discovery. Many scientific revolutions began with individuals who noticed anomalies and asked uncomfortable questions. Progress often requires challenging accepted beliefs and investigating unexplained details. Without this mindset, innovation slows and knowledge stagnates. Modern technology has transformed how we explore the past. Digital archives, satellite imagery, and global communication allow researchers and enthusiasts to collaborate across borders. Photographs, documents, and architectural details are analyzed in unprecedented ways. This shared global investigation continues to expand the boundaries of historical understanding. Whether alternative interpretations are correct or not, they highlight the dynamic nature of knowledge. History is not fixed. It evolves as new discoveries emerge. What once seemed impossible may later become accepted, and what seems certain today may be questioned tomorrow. The deeper lesson may be about humility. Humanity's understanding of the world is always incomplete. Each generation believes it has reached the peak of knowledge, only to discover new layers of complexity. The past often becomes richer and more mysterious as we investigate further. The 1800s, therefore, serve as a powerful reminder. They challenge us to observe carefully, think critically, and remain open to new perspectives. They encourage a balance between skepticism and curiosity, between evidence and imagination. Instead of fear, these mysteries can inspire exploration. They motivate us to study, to question, and to search for deeper understanding. This mindset has driven human progress for centuries and continues to shape the future. When we walk through old cities, we are not just observing architecture. We are encountering layers of human experience. Every structure reflects choices, innovations, struggles, and forgotten stories. Each stone carries the memory of the people who built it. Perhaps the greatest discoveries begin with small observations. A detail in a window, a pattern in a street, or a gap in records can open new paths of research. Curiosity transforms ordinary moments into gateways of understanding. The challenge is not to replace one narrative with another, but to embrace complexity. The past may contain multiple truths, shaped by perspective, culture, and evolving knowledge. In this sense, history becomes a living field of exploration. Each generation adds new pieces to the puzzle. Each discovery reshapes the story. The process never truly ends. And perhaps the most important realization is this: the search for truth is endless. What we know today is only a fragment of a much larger story, and the future will continue to reveal new layers of the past that we cannot yet imagine.